Got a higher raise than I was supposed to. Do I say anything? So last month we were informed at work that everyone was getting a 15% raise. Which isn't going to be a lot with my paycheck because I'm working as a part-time student. Anyway, on Monday the paycheck goes through and I got a lot more than I should have. I'm not that great at math, but I'm competent enough to figure out that I got a 35% raise instead of 15. I checked with 2 other coworkers and they only got the expected 15%. The only difference is that they are full-time employees. And I'm part-time. Every month we get an email with payroll breaking down the payment into hours and all that stuff. I still haven't gotten mine. But they both have like an hour after. So I'm just wondering what the hell I'm supposed to do. This is my first job and I don't know if this is something I am supposed to report to my manager. Do I act clueless and pretend I didn't notice the difference? Or given the fact I still haven't gotten the email, do you think they figured it out immediately and are just waiting for me to come to work to tell me it was a mistake? Could I have any legal repercussion if I keep quiet? Any advice would be great. And I apologize for the bad English, it's not my first language. You could have received a retroactive amount. Wait until second paycheck to compare. I would act clueless but save the extra money in case you have to pay it back. Where do you work to get 15% raises? My job give at most 3% yearly. They might have calculated your salary based on full time. Like say you were earning $100 a month if you worked 100%. With the 15% increase that'd be $115. In that example the 15% is $15. But if they just calculated the percentual bonus and added it to your salary, it'd be a completely different percentage. Say you work 60% and have a salary of $60 each month, and they add $15 to your salary. Then suddenly what is 15% for full-time workers is 25% for you. Obviously those numbers are made up for simplicity's sake. Accountant here. I do payroll at my company. Depending on who is in charge of payroll, they may never notice. Don't go in telling everyone and see what happens. If you still have the new pay rate on your second check, then someone input that amount as your new base pay rate and they haven't noticed. If they do happen to notice, they are required by law, depending on your state's laws, to inform you in writing how much you were overpaid and outline how they intend to recoup those funds. This wasn't caused by you, so no need to feel nervous. Probably backdated. It's possible that the lowest paid employees within your organization are getting significantly higher raises than your colleagues on higher salaries, recognizing that inflation has been hitting them hardest. Personally, I'd rather get something in writing that says that it's definitely legit so that I can use it immediately as I see fit, or else rectify the issue sooner rather than later, rather than saving it in case it turns out to be a mistake and they try to claw it back. There are those who'd say I was a mug, though. Wait for the payroll document. If there is something wrong, you better tell them. At least in Germany you have to inform your employer about such cases where you are paid more than you should. What raise? Shut up, but keep the money safe for next 23 months. Keep your mouth shut. Stick it in a high-interest savings account and collect interest in the meantime. Get some legal advice and found out if there's any limitations on how long they can wait to yank it back. Worst case scenario, you have to pay back the money but get to keep the interest. Best case scenario, you have a little egg growing. So I'm just wondering what the hell I'm supposed to do. You need to talk to payroll. I work for a state agency, and folks that got overpaid by mistake had to pay all that extra money back once the error was caught, it's a far less painful hit to have it fixed now than later. It is generally good to tell them, but maybe at least wait till you have seen the breakdown. And just to check, you aren't under 21 and just became older, right? Because many places have different wager for below 21, and that could also be the change. Or a tax change or something. So as others say, don't immediately spend this extra money and do some digging. I have told my bosses on the 2 cases something like this happened. But I always had very chill bosses. And in one case he said I could keep it. And the other told me he knew in the letter to explain the mistake should already be on its way. Most establishments have policy to recover the money anyway. They'll deduct it from future salary when they realize. Keep your mouth shut and save that money. Do not spend it. When they realize their mistake, they may try to take it back. I would just come clean. The advice most people are giving is to ignore it, but you will have to pay it back if they find out. And if you don't have the money to cover it, it'll be a huge problem. Just tell them. Screwing your employers may feel like a win, but you will almost certainly lose long term. Looking out for yourself means doing the right thing, especially if it's going to bite you in the ass if you don't. It's payroll job, not yours. You don't say anything. The numbers aren't close enough for it to be an easy fat finger. It might be on purpose. If anyone asks you about it, play dumb. I don't look at my hourly amount every check because I trust payroll, or something similar. From my experience, being honest from the beginning is the best course of action. You may find out that the extra pay is actually retro pay like others have suggested. It could also be an error which you would want to have corrected early so you don't pile up additional pay and then have to pay it all back later in one big chunk. If nothing else, you can know you did the right thing instead of possibly giving yourself a tarnished reputation. Put the additional money in savings for now. If it was in error and they want it back, you'll still have it. If it was intended, you'll have been wise with your money. As for whether or not to bring it up to your boss, how much do you trust them to be fair? I wouldn't wait too long to have the talk though.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.